Hi, our guest today is Ravi Sodhi. He's with SCORE, the Service Corps of Retired Executives. And tell us a little bit about what that means.
The Small Business Administration has two organizations that provide and support entrepreneurship in the U.S. And SCORE, although historically has that name, Service Corps of Retired Executives, but it's really people that have a deep background in a particular industry or role, and they're excited about entrepreneurship and people that are starting businesses and they just want to give back and share their knowledge. There are about 14,000 volunteers in the United States, SCORE 840 chapters, and so depending on the type of business you're starting or the kind of question you may have, marketing versus pricing, chances are there's someone in there that's done it for 30 years and they're part of your team or your go-to team, and it's free.
That's great. It's free to businesses.
And individuals, and they're a great resource not only for the background and knowledge in a particular business that you may be starting. Periodically, they offer a very rich catalog of courses and workshops, a modest $20 or $30, often with a great lunch thrown in, and it's a great way of networking with other people that have your passion or area of exploration, and meeting some great instructors and getting a lot of knowledge in a very inexpensive professional way.
Well, that's great, and it's also it's one of the ways, and one of the things I love about it is it's one of the things where it helps level the playing field for small and large businesses. It's a resource.
Being a small business, you're probably very attuned to this. You're having to compete in an unlevel playing field with large companies that have, broad or great resources, and so you've got the idea. You don't necessarily want to be so overwhelmed with the bookkeeping or the logistics of how to respond to an RFP or proposal in order to submit it to the government. But someone at SCORE probably did that for 20 or 30 years and is your personal board of directors in helping you gain that advantage back.
So the volunteers, the counselors are all volunteers, correct?
Absolutely.
But
yes.
the funding for this, there's an outlying funding that comes through the SBA.
We generate our own funding for our office, for our staff, for our printing, our software. We do the workshops at $20, $30, $40, and that money is used to pay our rent, electricity, utilities. We also have a terrific in-house library with hundreds of videos from Entrepreneur Magazine, computers that people can use to play with different business planning software. If you're a large company, you're thinking of doing market research, you want to get access to the Dun & Bradstreet kind of books, or the book of lists of all the large companies in different counties or areas or directories, or maybe it's the SIC codes and the Standards and Poor, and they've got those kinds of resources.
So in their library.
In the library.
Because that's great. Because those Dun & Bradstreet things and some of those Hoovers, I guess, are very expensive. I mean, what, $1,000, $1,500 to subscribe for the year?
It's all self-funded and free. We're a nonprofit.
That's great. That's great. So it's a good resource for small business, for all small businesses, but especially for startups, or is it?
Not only startups, but companies that have been in business for 20 or 30 years, and the market's changed, and it's time to recalibrate, or you're like to start a new line of business, or you want a little financial or bookkeeping help. We've got some CFOs that are counselors, and you now have your own personal CFO. Frankly speaking, Reese, entrepreneurship or running a business can be very, very lonely, and you need a team, and SCORE is your business support team.